Well, it's that season again. It's Picket season on YouTube. Everyone's building planters, flower boxes, you name it. Outdoor decor is all the rage right now because people are sick and tired of being locked in their homes for winter. Well, I figure I better jump in on this trend, but I am not building a planter or any other outdoor decor. We're going to have a little bit more fun and be a little bit more original with this. Let's build it. For this anti-planter build, we're going to be using a old piece of cedar picket that I got off of an old fence. I used most of it on another project. This is what I got left. I've actually surfaced it. It has been out in the weather for quite a while, as you can tell with the cracking, but I think we can still get some more life out of it. I have a little chunk of walnut offcut, one ball brass rod that I'm going to use, and a little bit of paracord. Let's get this going. Okay, we're going to start out, just look for a decent spot here on the board. I kind of want the cracking up on top. So no real measurements here. We'll just draw a line here. And I want to keep that knot in there. We'll draw the other line right about here. So that's going to be right about, that's going to be about 8 3/16. Let's get this over to the miter saw. I decided to treat my old miter saw to a new blade after using that old one that come with it for about a year, and it was used then. So let's see how good of a cut that this will actually do. Gonna take it nice and slow to see the best possible cut that I can actually get off of this new blade. Not too shabby at all. Got our cedar cut. Now for the walnut. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to find center of this piece. And we will go, it's going to be about a 1/2 inch down. So we'll go with maybe 1.25 inches in total length. And we'll do the same on the other side here. So we end up with 2 pieces just about like that. Let's get this over to the drill press. Other than my big fat hand being in the way, I didn't really measure out the distance here. I just put a little flag on the drill bit that would go roughly a little less than halfway through. I'll measure it and figure it out later. Then over to the bandsaw. This is a little too close for comfort to take over to the miter saw. I have a tendency to be pretty attached to my fingers, and I would honestly like to keep it that way. Gonna run these across a spindle sander here, just square them up a little bit, and then I'll also give the corners just a little bit of a round over up on the top end on the side that I drilled the hole in, just to give them a little more character and a little less boxy of a shape. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and find center on the end of this board quick. More or less center. There we go. And now we're gonna get this over to the drill press. And this time around, I'm not even gonna really bother putting a flag on it all. I'm just gonna drill a hole deep enough to seat that paracord into. Pretty simple. And while I'm here and I got this bit chucked up, I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole in my ball. Again, not really measuring for depth, just going for what I think should be deep enough. Got our pieces here, got our walnut pieces drilled out, have the hole drilled out in the cedar. We're going to put that facing us. I'm going to use this little scrap for a spacer. So I'm just going to kind of square that up by feel and clamp that down. Yep, that's about right. And I did go ahead and measure the holes on this, and they are at just a hair over 5 mil. So I'm going to get these squared up to the edge and throw a clamp on them. And do the same with this side. Make sure they're good and flush. Okay, and since the holes are about 5 mil a piece, we'll go ahead and measure across the inside of our little uprights. And we're looking right about 103 millimeters. So add on 10, we're going to be at 112. We're going to call it about 112 and a half, 113. Now for the brass rod, that's going to be going in there. I'm going to want to cut it right about 113 or so, but I'm going to cheat and use a pipe cutter because cutting this brass rod with the saw makes a heck of a mess. So I'm going to go ahead and get this measured out, get it cut, and we'll get to the assembly. Got our brass rod cut, and I did chamfer the edge just a little bit on the sander so they'll fit in nice and easy. And I don't want to glue these in or anything. I want the rod to be able to spin as just kind of a diversion. And that looks pretty dead on. Right on that edge. So what we're going to do first is we're going to mask this rod so I can shoot it with some finish and not cover this brass rod full of lacquer. We'll just get these end parts masked off and then I'll go back and tape the rest of it. Okay, I think that'll do. Get that tape pressed down nice and trim off our tails here. That'll do just fine. So let's get down to the glue up here. Just need a little bit of glue on this. Somebody left their glue bottle open. Just a little bit of glue. And we'll spread that around. Probably a little bit more over here. Clean up as I go. So God made jeans. And we'll line this up. Get a clamp on this side. Make sure it's flush with that edge. Get a clamp on this side. Make sure she's good and flush. Both sides. All right, we'll go ahead and let that dry up. And I'll probably tape this brass rod up and we'll be ready to finish this piece. Now this cedar's been sitting around for a bit, so it's probably plenty dry after sitting out in the shop all winter long. And I noticed that when I hit it with a little bit of finish coming up here, it's really soaking it up. So this one I'm probably going to have to shoot a couple times over to get a real decent finish on it. But man, you gotta love that color pop when you put some lacquer on something. Got this all finished and dried up now, and got to say I am actually pretty happy with how it turned out. I like the color. It's got a good feel in the hand. I really like the multiple tones that you get out of this, and I think this brass rod just kind of sets it a little bit apart than other ones I've seen like this. But without further ado, let's get to the big show and start the final assembly process. Got our standard toolkit here, so let's get down to the final assembly for this. Gonna start with putting just a drop or two of glue into this hole in the ball. Let that sit for a second. Get our paracord out. And sink this right into the hole. Then we'll get, I'd say probably wrap that. Give ourselves about 6 inches. Come back to here. And we'll cut it right about here. We'll go ahead and burn this end. That should do, I think. So we're gonna thread this cord like this. Go like this. We know that the ball won't fit there. We'll add a couple drops of glue into this hole. It's actually quite a few drops, but that'll work. Let's get something to prop this up on so it don't run out while we manage our cord. Shoot some activator on it. And sink it right down in there. Okay, we'll give that a few minutes to dry and we'll come back for the solution. Okay, it's solution time. I'm going to start. We'll turn the puzzle facing you here and we'll get it all laid out nice. So you start like this. Bring up some slack, flatten it, give a twist, under the bar, put the bead through it, and it's free. Now to reset this, put the loop through, ball through the loop, pull your slack, and you're back to the beginning. So we have yet one more puzzle in the book. This is another one you can make out of just about any kind of scraps that you have kicking around. Replace this with a dowel or even just a square frame. Route it out in the center so you got a hole that's just a little smaller than whatever ball or bead that you use. Thanks again for coming along with me on this, and probably in the next video or two, we're going to be taking a peek at what's been hiding under that sheet. I got an idea plan that I'm going to give a go, and I'll take you along with me. Thanks for watching.